Ooh, you see that? That's fully automatic oak logs right there. Let's not waste any time. Let's just jump into it. So we'll start with a quick demonstration of how this farm actually works. Inside that farm, there is a moss block and a whole bunch of mossable blocks around it. So we need to know the range of a moss block, which is in fact a 3-block radius. Granted, Minecraft doesn't really have radiuses, it doesn't really have circles, so it ends up being this, a 7x7 square without the corners. And for the record, yes, granite is a mossable block. This is just the actual range of the block. So obviously this farm will be using bone meal to make everything happen. And everyone always says that, oh, you're wasting a bunch of bone meal. I think this design is actually more bone meal efficient than other designs out there, but we'll get into why later. But first, I just want to show real quick that there's exactly 20 bone meal in each of these, and these are all the possible things you can get on top of your moss blocks. So the first is nothing. So when that happens, nothing gets used. Next is a moss carpet, and when that happens, nothing gets used. Next is a short grass or tall grass. So it's worth noting we had 20, we have 19 now. One got used to make the small grass big grass, and then none got used. And finally, you can get an azalea. Now, in that case, multiple bone meal can get used. We got lucky there, it only took 2. But that's the case where you have to use that bone meal no matter what, because this is the whole point of the farm. So let's get into building it. Alright, so step 1 of this thing, you're going to build a 14x2 platform, where the 4th block in on each diagonal opposing corner, so right here from this corner, is a different block. It doesn't matter what block it is, but it has to be a different block. Next, we're going to put dispensers facing upwards into those 2 unique blocks. These will be filled with bone meal. Then we are going to line the platform with target blocks, except for the blocks that line up with your dispensers, you're going to put 2 solid blocks on top of each other. Now on all the target blocks, we're going to put a dispenser facing inward. Also, I have these control clicked, so these are full, as is this one. You will need to fill these yourself if you're going to run the machine. Next, place a solid block on the bottom of each dispenser and create a 2-block wide platform connecting those blocks. Now along the edge that will be the back of the machine, place 2 redstone dust in the 2-block middle, with repeaters pointing out on either side of those, then a comparator in and a comparator out, both connected by redstone dust just here on the end, and then using blocks and redstone, connect those 2 side repeaters so that they are powering the vertical dispensers. A block. Okay, so then you're going to do repeater at 4 ticks, block, observer, observing this way, block, repeater, that thing, comparator, going that way, droppers facing each other, facing each other, and just for fun, lamps, with plural lamps. Lamps on either side, here and here. And we're actually going to do this, and we're going to put 1 singular item in the hoppers. And now, if we flip it to here, all that triggers and winds out. Flip it to here, all that triggers and winds out. Next, we will line the bottom edge of our target blocks with any solid block. Now, place a sticky piston in the platform such that it is being powered by one of the repeaters coming out of your comparator clock, and place 2 observers facing each other on the end of that piston. Now run the system and you'll see that you have an observer clock for the whole duration of the comparators. Now, replace the block at the end of the rows lining your targets with downward facing observers, and place a powered rail such that it is being powered by the observer clock we just made and being observed by the observers we just placed. Now, starting from those observers, line the entire machine in redstone. Feel free to test again, just to see that everything is firing. Now we're going to place oak logs along all of the dispensers, and then again 3 blocks above them, so 2 blocks of air, and then another log above all of that. Then from each log, leave 2 blocks of air going outward away from the machine, and place a row of solid blocks. Then finally, line those solid blocks with pistons pointing toward the logs. And now we'll use some blocks and a repeater to establish a new line still coming off of that same central comparator clock. This new line will be controlling the log pushers, and we need it to run to both the front and the back of the machine. Now make a temporary 2-block wide wall of blocks spaced 1 block away from the green lines, just to help place slabs later. Now run blocks from the new line to where your temporary wall is, ending by powering a block with a repeater, then use slabs to allow the redstone to go upward in just a 2-block wide column all the way to the top line. Adding a lever here will act exactly like that repeater does in the actual run, so it'll allow us to see if our new line can actually reach all of the pistons. Turns out it was 1 block too short, but that's a simple fix. We can add 1 slab right here, and then we reach all the way. We can now also delete the temporary wall. Now on the other side, we'll start once again by building our temporary wall, and then connect the line from the bottom to where the wall is. And then here, I got really confused by trying to fit these redstone lines right next to each other, and had to go check on the first one. But I'm just gonna let you enjoy this moment right now.
And then onto slabs in a really weird way.
What the f did I do here? Yeah. I have no idea why I did that so weird there.
Actually, this could be a slab too. Yeah, why not? Oh, crap on a stick.
Anyway, we'll block up to a slab against the lamp, then 2 slabs across so you can fit a dust and a repeater into a full block, and then finally connect that to the slabs that you'll place against your temporary wall.
So, oh my god, slab, okay.
One more moment to laugh at myself, and then finally line all of this with redstone. Once again, taking advantage of the fact that we have this lever to see if everything is actually connected. And that's log pushing circuit complete. But don't forget to take away your testing.
And we will pulse it. What you'll see is these extend, all of those push. That's what you want to see.
Next, we add a torch to the end of the log line and use some blocks, dust, and a repeater to keep the dispenser line powered whenever the log line is not. This is a very important detail. It prevents the dispensers from firing while the flying machine is passing through. Now place a dropper facing upward next to the torch, a hopper down into the dropper, and a non-stackable item in the dropper. Next, extend all of the logs by 3 blocks. Then, place any powerable block on the end of those logs. In this clip I used droppers, but later I changed them to note blocks. It really doesn't matter, but I think note blocks are cooler. Now take a comparator output from the hopper into a block, then using 2 blocks below and 1 block above, connect redstone wire to the 2 powerable blocks on this side. And ignore that I had temporarily deleted that hopper. Now use a couple blocks and 4 tick repeaters to set up 2 more powerful blocks that will fire immediately after these 2. Now on the other side, repeat everything from the torch to the first 2 powerful blocks, but it only needs those first 2 powerful blocks. You don't need the repeaters in the last 2. And now we repeat all of that on the other side, but as if it were rotated 180 degrees, not as if it were mirrored, so that you're not powering the same side of the dispensers again. I absolutely missed a comparator on that hopper on the left-hand side of the screen right now. Don't miss that. It's there. The flying machine is made by placing observers facing each of the powerable blocks, as well as where 2 powerable blocks would have been had we needed them on both sides. Then, slime blocks are at the back of every observer, and sticky pistons between the slime blocks, one pushing, one pulling. It is vital that the pushing piston is on the side that has the 2 extra powerable blocks. That's what actually tells it to fly. Then place a couple obsidian to prevent the flying machine from flying away. And finally, place a normal piston on every slime surface still available, always pointing ahead or behind the machine respectively. Then at the other end of the machine, again on the side that has the 2 extra blocks, place a couple obsidian to prevent the machine from flying away. And now is probably a good time to test everything again, just to make sure everything's still clicking and the flying machine can fly to both sides. Good stuff. Over here, we need to be observing this block right here. So we go here, like that, and then we build our dropper facing upward, facing over, facing into this one, and here, and we put one item in there. Block, comparator, block, thingy, thingy, single item. Comparator, repeater, block, up 3. And this is the part of a 5-block platform. Block here. I don't have redstone dust on me, so that's cool. Then go here, here, up like that. Repeater. Torch here. Whoops, not there. This like so. All of this crap over to here. Dropper. Single item in it. And of course, comparator. Repeater. Oh! I forgot, of course, the hopper. And then single item in it. Comparator. Repeater. Block. Cool. And then dust, and then up here, and now we go like this again. So now we go 1 block over and 3 blocks this way. Then 1 block here, right into this, I think. Sounds about right. This one's the dispenser. It should be in line with that. It is. And that means that this goes under it. That's there. We don't have a redstone block on us. We will now. Redstone block, hopper, hopper, hopper. And then, of course, boom, boom. I'm really bad at creative mode. Boom, 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 boom. Don't need that. That goes there. That goes there. Here. This goes, whoops. This goes here. Into a note block that we observe. And finally, point at a piston facing this way. And we grab this. And then once again, in here, we need exactly 1, 2, 3, 4 items. That should be there. Okay, cool. And then last but not least, of course, we need to once again do this and fill it with TNT. So now I'm going to test fire this side again too, just to make sure I didn't F it up. Okay.
You can see here that this was actually the second side that I did. I messed up the first one so bad, and then I didn't want to try to script while doing it, so I just watched me making the second one and decided it wasn't that bad. So, yeah, just rewatch this section again for the other side.
So the next thing we're going to have to do is on the sides where, or I guess on the front side, on this side of the machine, we need to have these get fired automatically. So we need to have a line coming out of here like so. And the way the whole system works is that it actually gets triggered by observing this block right here. Because this block will be, just connect that to there like so. This block will be triggered when the flying machine gets there. There we go, just like that. And I believe it actually does fit. It is 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's close, but it fits. And then finally, also on this side, we observe here, we go, whoops, down 2, over a bunch. I haven't really counted this. I'm just making it match when I get there. And that's there, that's there. Done. And then what I did on the other one was this. I put an extra block right here. I put a observer facing downward right there. I put a lamp on it and a thing on it so that this is when it's on and this is when it's off. And this would then actually need to be a repeater just so that it works. So then to get one single pulse of the system, you can just click this and that'll make everything go. Unless, of course, the item is on that side, then it won't. But from now on, when it stops by this, it'll always stop on this side. We can fire it by just clicking that observer. Why didn't we go? Oh, wait. That's missing a comparator right here. How did I miss that? Did I miss on the other side too? No, it's fine. 2, 3, 4. Right? Yes. Okay. There we go. And it should launch a TNT. Launch a TNT. And it'll come back to this side. And so the reason it didn't go back is because this is on the wrong side. But by simply clicking that, it should now be going, I think. Yeah, okay, so now we're in sync. Now we're good. So if you need to sync the machine, just get the item into this side, have it off, and then use by clicking on that comparator to make the system trigger. Just do that until your flying machine ends over here. So everything is in sync when this flying machine is resting on that side, or on the same side as the item and the off switch. So off switch is off, items in this side, flying machine over there. So you can control getting the off switch off and getting the item into here, but make the system run if you have to, if it's stuck at that end, by just right-clicking on that comparator. And then you're good to go.
And finally, the collection system. We'll start by building a 2x8 platform centered around the comparator clock and the log pushing circuitry, and 5 blocks below the log pushing circuitry. The 8 blocks runs along the width of the machine, and at one end of this, place 2 hoppers and whatever chest-based collection system you want. Now, keeping the 8 block width for the entire collection system, go up 1 block at the side of the 2x8 platform and build an 8x8 platform, then go up again at the end of that to build a 7x8 platform, then one more time for another 7x8 platform. Mirror this on both sides, and make a perimeter wall to contain the water. And finally, we can place our water all the way along either end of this giant trough, and at the end of the 2x8 trough in the middle, at the opposite side of your hoppers.
Last thing to do is put your moss block in here, whoops, in here, and in here. This video took me literally all day to make, but I want to end it with a thank you to everyone who told me to make it. I mentioned that I had invented this farm like months ago in a couple comment sections on YouTube and Instagram and stuff, but I only finally now got around to making it because enough people had been like, bro, make the damn video, that I finally decided to do it. So thanks all you random guys who apparently wanted to see this. And let me know if you actually want to see it set up so that it could run forever. With it set up the way it is at the end of this particular video, it gets about one single chest of logs per hour, and its resources can run it for about 2.5 hours. After that, you're going to be out of TNT or bone meal in some of the dispensers. So it is totally possible to have it restock things and change the TNT dispensers into TNT dupers, but I'll have to make that a second video if people want that. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like the video, please like the video. Please comment, share it with your friends, you know, tweet it at DocM77. Try to make it famous. You guys are awesome. I'll see you later.